children against diseases are to be stripped of tax benefits. As Andrew Thomas explains from Sydney, some families could lose over $2,000 for each child.
Along with spiders, bedtime and broccoli, getting vaccinated is something most children the world over hate. But in Australia, being vaccinated is hard to avoid.
For me, having an immunisation done is about protecting his health. If he's going to sort of play groups and, you know, the other mothers want to make sure that they're immunised as well, so, yeah.
But should parents have an extra financial incentive? The Australian government wants to increase levels of immunisation from an already high 90%. It plans to withhold over $2,000 in benefits from parents who don't take their children for 6 blocks of jabs over 4 years to protect against 12 diseases. It's controversial. Although the government says it's targeting those parents too busy or forgetful to get vaccinations done, some question a prevailing policy and don't like money coming into the equation.
If somebody's saying, oh, I'll pay you a couple of $1,000s to make a decision, you actually aren't making an informed decision based just on the science.
Neither Saffron nor Quincy have had any medical injections because of their parents' concerns over side effects. Australian parents can register as conscientious objectors and still get benefits, but that involves complicated forms, so all the assumptions are in favour of vaccination.
The benefits of vaccination for individual children and for the population far outweigh any risks.
Every parent wants to do the best by their child. Governments have a duty to do what they think is best for the population as a whole. For some, cash incentives are a good way to bring those two things together. For others, the need for bribes is proof the two are fundamentally opposed. Andrew Thomas, Al Jazeera, Sydney.
Well, joining us now live is Dr. Julie Leask. She's a senior lecturer at the University of Sydney and specialises in immunisation policy. It's good to talk to you. What do you make of this scheme? Should the Australian government really cloud people's judgments by offering them cash incentives?
I think ultimately the goal is to make sure that as many of our children are immunised as possible, because vaccines are safe and effective and they prevent disease. So we know that this incentive scheme, which we've had in Australia for a number of years to a smaller extent, has certainly made a difference to our immunisation rates and broadly been accepted by our public. So I think ultimately it's a good thing. The new scheme is a much larger financial incentive, so it's a very strong statement from the government that children should be immunised.
But there are those who think that vaccines aren't always safe. They're concerned about the risks. Isn't this a way to punish them?
No, because they can still lodge an exemption, but that requires them to have a discussion with their doctor or their nurse.
I understand that lodging an exemption is a complicated process.
No, they just need to take a form to their doctor or nurse and have that signed based on a discussion about the risks of their decision.
All right. Now, there's still the issue of vaccination here, Dr. Leask. I mean, shouldn't parents have the choice to make the decision whether or not they want to immunise their children?
Look, I think it's very important that parents do have that choice. With this scheme, they do retain the choice. They can still receive the benefits if they don't vaccinate, but it's just a way to help parents, most of whom want to get their children immunised, put that at the top of the list of their priorities.
Okay, thank you very much for speaking to us. That's Dr. Julie Leask joining us live from Sydney. Thanks for your time.